we aim to do is to grow as many through to about 3 months of age before we release them. And at 3 months, they're around about 2 inches, or about 3.5 centimetres.
And they can fend for themselves. They wouldn't be looked after in the wild by adult lobsters, would they?
They wouldn't be looked after. We're trying to bridge the gap of the life cycle where they have a very high natural mortality rate, and we're trying to release them when they've changed their behaviour and they therefore have a very low natural mortality rate. There's quite a lot of work done by both the UK government and also by some Norwegian institutes several years ago now, and one of the papers published by the UK researchers suggested that survival rates post-release could be as high as 50 to 84%. We're fairly confident they've got a reasonable survival rate, and what we're actually trying to do is we're trying to take them through the planktonic stages of their life cycle, where they're prey to a huge number of different species of fish and invertebrates in the sea. And then we're trying to release them when they get into their benthic part of their life cycle, so when they start living in burrows under the seabed. And of course, when they're in a burrow, they have very few predators.
And how crucial to their survival is the divers putting them on the seabed bit? Presumably you can't just tip them off a boat and hope for the best.
That's not what we tend to do. We've got 2 systems of releasing which we use mostly. The first system is we go out with fishermen and we have a big metal box which we take on board the boat. We attach that to the deck wash hose of the boat itself, so we're pumping water through this box. And then there's a great big tube which goes down to the seabed. It's about 4 inches diameter. That's weighted on one end. And we drift with the boat and we literally pump the lobsters down to the seabed. So that's with the fishermen. But with the divers, we can't afford to run a diving operation ourselves because we're a small charity. But what we do is we donate lobsters to dive clubs and then they release them onto the seabed. And the benefit of that, really, is that the divers are there. They can see if there's lots of predatory fish swimming around. They can check the bottom conditions to make sure they're absolutely perfect for the juvenile lobsters. And they've got that instant feedback loop visually.
Lobsters are one of Europe's favourite luxury foods, and they're quite a big deal in your part of southwest England, basically, aren't they?
Yes, they're an important part of the fishery. I think in 2005 they were reported as being worth £1.8 million to the Cornish economy. And really, when you take into consideration the fact that when you multiply that figure up to get a real value to our economy, it's something in the region of 3.5 times that figure. They're of huge economic value. But my personal feeling is that they're of greater social value in that we've got 50 harbours around Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly, and those are 50 little ports supporting small communities. And so as a species, it's very important in that it keeps those small communities alive and brings income into our small coastal communities.
Do you actually get quite attached to the little creatures yourself?
I quite like lobster. Yeah, they're very cute when they're around about a year old. They look fantastic, and I'm quite keen on eating them when they get a lot bigger as well.